Hello, today I want to stop by and share some thoughts and ideas about how we can work with the energy of the eclipse that we are experiencing later today. It is a full solar eclipse and it's gonna be visible for the whole continent of America from the north to the south. The time at which you're gonna experience it depends on your time zone, but it is gonna be tonight. So for some people it's going to be 16, for others it's going to be the 15. I am included in those. And I wanted to share that this eclipse is taking place in an area of the sky right below the balance of Libra. And it is also very close to another constellation that focuses in balancing the female and masculine energies, the female and masculine sacred energies within each one of us. So these energies have been not in balance for eons at this point, and most of us in the whole earth have been experiencing and living life through the lens of the unbalanced masculine energy. It doesn't matter that you're a woman, it doesn't matter that you're a man. And how does this reflect in life? It reflects in our focus, like laser focus that we have on the outcomes instead of the way that we live life and how we experience the process of getting to the outcome. And this is why we have so much conflict with others, basically, because we are not focusing on creating a beautiful and balanced experience for us and our children, for us and our partners, for us and the people around us. How to get to that outcome in joy, in happiness, in balance. In balance because not everything is joy in life, basically, but we could be in balance even in circumstances that are not pleasurable. If we remember that we came here to experience, that we came here to learn, that we came here because we were curious, and that curiosity is what can help us remain in balance even when we're facing challenging moments in our lives. I have this image that always comes to me with my children now, and as a memory of myself when I used to do skipping when I was little, and I love to do it at all times. And it's that energy of child curiosity, child joy, child wanting to learn and wanting to explore. And if you remember, there is one passage in the Bible that says that it's easier for a child to get into heaven, and it is because the child is playing and it is creating and is out of his joy, out of his curiosity or her curiosity. And this is what we have to remember, to keep that joy and that curiosity and that creative energy in our lives at every moment, at every circumstance. I just know of somebody that bought a house before selling her house because she wanted to have the security of having a home before selling hers. And 2 weeks after she had agreed and signed off papers that she wanted to sell the house, the person that sold the house said they didn't want to sell the house anymore. And she was ready to fight and to be in resistance with that, but eventually she decided to just trust and say, okay, we're gonna just make as if we hadn't had any contract. She moved ahead, she canceled the contract, she sold her house before getting her new house. And as it comes, she got a better house at a better price because the market cooled down. this happened just a few weeks ago. So it is really surprising what one can get in benefit if we remain in curiosity, if we remain trusting that everything that happens has a reason and is usually for the benefit of ourselves. When we are in this trust and in this connection with the universe, we tend to be in fear. And if we are in fear, we are awakening our sympathetic system. And if our sympathetic system is awake, we cannot breathe, or immune system goes down. So it is really important to remember to be in balance and in curiosity. And this eclipse is bringing that energy, because it is having the moon in Scorpio. And Scorpio is a sign that is water, which is emotions, but is fixed. What is water fixed? Only frozen water. And frozen water means we have not processed, digested an emotion, whichever it is for you. And this moon is opposed to the sun in Taurus, with in a conjunction with Uranus. And Uranus, it is the energy that helps us to reevaluate our beliefs. And Taurus is the sign that starts something tangible. It is the sign that starts creating in the physical, but is also fixed. So because it's physical and it's fixed, which is pretty much Earth, that's why you see it's related to creation in the physical plane. It takes a long time to actually manifest the creation. And these cycles are 9-year cycles, because that is when the eclipses happen in the same signs. So this moment in your life is reflecting the creation of the last 9 years in your life. So whichever areas that you have conflict now, think about what was the status of that area in your life 9 years ago, and how is that different now? Is it easier? Is it harder? If it's easier, you have been doing the work, bringing awareness, bringing consciousness, bringing balance to that area. If it's harder, if you're facing even bigger challenges in that area that you were facing 9 years ago, there has been resistance. So what can you let go and flow? What could you melt? How could you melt that ice with the heat of the sun? And the sun is in your heart. How could you melt that? Feel that feeling that is pending to be felt in your body. Feel it fully. And realize that you're not that feeling. Realize that you can connect with that feeling in a different way. And you can start drawing wisdom from that feeling. What is that feeling wanting to show you? What does it want to teach you? What is that wisdom pearl that it wants to share with you? And how could you flow more instead of being fixed? Because if we start to connect both the sacred female energy and the sacred masculine, think of yin and yang if that is more in resonance with you. How could you start bringing those into balance in your life? How could you start focusing not only in the outcome but also in the process and how you're getting that outcome? For me, it's reflected with my children because I want to get things done quickly, and I have to remember that my goal is not to teach them to be in a rush, but to teach them to be balanced adults. I'm not raising children, I'm raising balanced adults. That is what I want to create in my life and for them and offer to them. So if I want to do that, I have to remain in balance. I have to offer them tools to process their feelings. I have to remember that whatever they're experiencing is not a thing for me to feel. So if they're feeling upset, if I get upset, I'm not letting them be upset and feel that upset and process that upset. So how can I offer a little space for them and tools to manage that upset? Because all of us, or nervous systems, were not readily complete until we were 25 years old, which means we didn't have all of the tools necessary to process the feelings that we had. And most of us didn't have parents that were aware of this, or that had the patience or the consciousness to be that safe containers for us to experience those feelings. But now we can. Now we can be that for ourselves. And if you have children in your life, you can offer that to your own children, because that's how we create the new earth. These are the seeds of the new earth, and we are the ones caring for those seeds. So we have to remember that the responsibility is not only for ourselves, but to create the change that we want to see. And there are two things that I have used as reliable tools for myself to keep on finding the balance, and that is a tincture, and that tincture is ashwagandha, and it is a very powerful adaptogenic that helps you process the stress in your life in a different manner. And it helps your adrenal glands to be calm, and it helps your body to be in a more balanced state. And how you take it, you might take 5 to 10 drops 3 times a day, and it's very powerful because it gets to your cells. And the reason why is because the plants have water soluble properties and alcohol soluble properties. The water soluble properties are not as many, are just a little part of what the plant can offer, and this is what we take when we drink tea. But to take as many properties as possible from the plants, we have to take the tincture, because those properties are alcohol soluble. And that's why these tinctures are so powerful within our bodies. Additionally, our bodies, if you think about it, are 50 trillion cells. So being 50 trillion cells, if you think about taking pain pill for the pain, for a headache or whatever, or for the fever, if you were to think that linearly each cell has to get the information, how much time will it take to get it to the 50 trillion cells in our body? It will take a very long time. But it doesn't take that long, because our bodies work as fractals. So once one cell is aware of the chemical reaction that this pill is bringing to your body, immediately it starts to replicate immediately for all of the cells, because it's like each cell is a fractal of the other cell. And this was represented in one experiment that was done in one of the islands in the Pacific, in the South Pacific. Some scientists were studying some monkeys and in different islands, and some of these groups were facing a drought, and one of the monkeys started to create a tool, and then he was able to get this tool into a coconut to drink and survive. And these monkeys did not communicate, they didn't travel from island to island or anything, but soon after this one monkey did that, all other monkeys in the other islands started to do the same thing. So we are these fractals, and within our bodies we have these fractals. The information flies through once one cell is aware, so that's why this is so powerful. The other tool that I use is to stretch my legs, the back of my legs. And how I do this, I sit on the ground and I try to touch my toes, but you can also do this standing up and trying to go down, whatever is easier for you and your body. And What it does is it stretches the back of your legs, but it also stretches the psoas, which is the muscle that connects the legs up to the spine through the pelvis. This muscle is called the soul muscle, like the soul, like your soul, the soul muscle, because it connects to the spine right below where the diaphragm is. So if the psoas is tight, the diaphragm is tight. And if the diaphragm is tight, you cannot breathe deeply. And if you cannot breathe deeply, your sympathetic system kicks in, because that means you're in stress. But if you can breathe really deeply, your parasympathetic is in control. And if the parasympathetic is in control, your emotions are not the owners of your reactions. And if that is the case, everything in you is better. Your immune system, your digestive system, everything. So it is a beautiful gift that we can give to ourselves as two powerful tools to work the energies that these eclipses are bringing onto us. And this is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I'll be sharing more with you soon. Take care. Bye.